Mr. Konohia is president of Bulldog Protection, LLC. He received his Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Maryland, College Park in criminology and criminal justice with a minor in sociology. Mr. Konohia holds a certification of both Certified Master Anti-Terrorism Specialist and Certified Master of Executive Protection Specialist certifications from the Anti-Terrorism Accreditation Board. He currently resides in the Washington, D.C. area. Mr. Konohia professional experience includes his tenure as an intelligence analyst with the Washington-Baltimore high-intensity drug trafficking area. He served as an executive protection agent for Vance International, Incorporated. Mr. Konohia's tenure with the Maryland State Police included undercover narcotics investigations and road patrol. He has extensive domestic and international experience in executive protection. Mr. Konohia has written several articles relating to the industry and is a contributor to the Circuit magazine, the magazine for security professionals. A huge advocate for mentoring in the executive protection industry, he personally mentors aspiring protection specialists and company owners. His continued success is based on understanding that the client is the backbone of the industry. Please make welcome this evening's keynote speaker, Mr. Eric Konohia.
I was asked to speak today on the topic new beginnings. But before I speak on this topic, let's look at those two words. New, replacing something of the same kind that already exists. Let me say that again. Replacing something of the same kind that already exists. And beginning, an act or circumstance of entering upon an action or state. An act or circumstance of entering upon an action or state. So if I was going to reword this topic, I could use the phrase fresh start or maybe even do-over. I'm not here to deliver a rah-rah filled motivational speech. In fact, any motivation that's derived from a motivational speaker is purely incidental. What I do want to do is inspire you to think, act, and do things differently in this new beginning and lift as you climb. What I want to encourage you to do to change in this new beginning is my first point, and that's the way you think. A new mindset. With a new mindset, you will naturally act and do everything differently. I know this firsthand. You've put in the hard work. Now is the time when all of your hard work needs to be set in motion. Rather than thinking outside the box in your future endeavors, I want to encourage you to start thinking about building bridges outside the box with your new knowledge so that others may benefit. Allegorically, a box has limitations. It confines and it restricts. A single box will limit your capacity to grow. Each of you play an integral part in blazing your own trail, but do it with a new mindset so that others may follow. Let's not forget that we are all here on the backs of the hard work of others. I kept that agency license on the shelf waiting for the correct time to launch my company officially. Not too long after that, Chuck Vance discontinued full-time employees and went to contractor agreements. I'll give you one guess who was prepared to absorb the responsibilities and the staffing at the ambassador's residence. That's when I realized that at first people ask, why'd you do that? Get your own agency license. But then they'll ask you, how'd you do that? From employee to agency owner overnight. Contracts started coming in and our global footprint expanded. From a local and regional standpoint, BPI, which is my company, was a reputable name in the industry. It wasn't until about 3 years ago I started complaining about the state of the industry. I recognized that 10 years prior to that, when I spoke to a new client, I had to explain to them what executive protection is. About 4 years ago, I started realizing when I was talking to new clients, I had to explain to them what executive protection was not. I decided that day would not define who I was and who I was going to be. To move out of my comfort zone and let my voice be heard. This was another new beginning for me. See, I was happy in my own private world. I had to find comfort in an uncomfortable space. I started the BPI blog and began overwhelming Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube with my message as I got on my soapbox and swung my bat every day. At first, the industry was mad. Those that knew me pushed my message. Those who did not asked, "Who is this jerk?" I responded, "If you get hit with the bat, then maybe you're someplace you shouldn't be." I started blaming former leaders for allowing the industry to deteriorate as they sat back and counted their money and accused the new guys of pillaging the village. It was a bloodbath of sorts. But within a year, I began getting invited to speak at Summit Industry, said a fellow pilgrim near. "You're wasting your strength building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again will pass this way. You've crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build you this bridge at eventide?" The builder lifted his old gray head. "Good friend, in the path I've come," he said, "there followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. The chasm that was as naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I'm building this bridge for him."